What is good, ladies and gents? We are back with another workout video. You see the title for today. You guys requested it, so I'm gonna supply it. You guys wanted some more workout videos, so I'm gonna keep them coming, and I'm glad to see I'm getting a good response from posting these. So today is chest and tricep. As you can see, we are starting off a little different today. We are not doing the regular parallel bar dips. We are doing a straight bar dips. Now, straight bar dips target your chest more. I want to say specifically the lower chest more. Again, they're a bit more challenging because you have to kind of control your whole body during the entire movement. So if you want to give straight bar dips a go, be my guest. They also help when you want to try and translate over to a muscle up, because obviously it mimics the upper portion of a muscle up. So as you can see, I just put on the weight and we're just doing some weighted straight bar dips. Seen the setup as usual. Got my 2 chairs, bricks, and an iron bar, and we're just repping away, man. We're still using the same weight, the 14-15 kg in total, with the dip belt, gloves, the usual, man. And we're just putting the work in, obviously 8 to 10 rep range as per usual. I haven't done these in a while, and reason being is I actually just forgot to do them, to be honest. I kept getting confused with the workout structure, and I just carried on doing parallel bar dips. So we got the straight bar dips back in there. I used to experience some wrist pain with these, don't know why, but that wrist pain has now gone. So maybe taking a break from them wasn't the worst thing, but I always do some wrist stretches and some wrist mobility before I do heavy dips, or anything where my wrists are at like an angle, basically. So if I'm going to do push-ups, I'm going to do dips, anything like that, I always make sure I get some wrist work in before. Very, very important. And also helps to strengthen the forearms and the joints all around in the lower portion of the arm. So do your wrist work. I do mine with some bands. So off a little tangent there, but back to the workout now. So we did about 4 sets of the straight bar dips. Was feeling nice, man, making sure we get that lower chest down towards the bar, or at least we're trying to. That's the goal here. And then when we're coming all the way up, we're making sure we're locking out, strengthening those joints, and everything else involved, man. But so far so good. We're staying injury free this year, I swear it. 2024 is the year of no injuries. We're going to eat as healthy as possible, and we're going to do our stretches, rehab, prehab, all that good stuff, everything else involved. Comment down below what your 2024 goals are. It can be fitness related, non-fitness related, food, work, whatever. Just comment down below and let me know what you think. And also make sure you press the subscribe button while you're watching. Don't be watching the videos and not subscribing, man. That's not nice, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, now we're on to the next exercise. We're going to do some weighted push-ups. As you can see, I've got the weights around the lower portion of the upper part of my back. 2 chairs again, and we're just bringing ourselves down as far as possible and then pushing all the way back up. Now the great thing about this is, and you can do this with obviously parallel bars or parallettes, is that it allows you to go that much deeper on the push-up. So as you can see, if I was working on the ground as normal, my chest would be hitting the ground before I could even go any further. But this allows for that bit more extension at the bottom part of the movement. It allows to stretch your chest that much more, and the triceps obviously have to work that much harder, as well as the front delts to get back up. Now obviously, if you don't have great shoulder mobility, or you've had shoulder issues in the past, would I recommend doing these weighted? Probably not. Probably start with body weight and see how you get on, and then continue from there. But if you don't have any of those issues, then it's a great way as well to improve your shoulder flexibility and mobility as well. Again, with these, we was in the 8 to 10 rep range, and this rep range isn't the be all and end all. Just because I am using that rep range doesn't mean that you have to. You can do more, you can do less, depending on the exercise. I do more or less, but for most exercises now, I found a weight where it requires that rep range, so that's what I just work in, you know what I'm saying? And we did about 3 sets. I recorded this a little minute ago, so I don't remember the exact amount of sets, but we was feeling good, man. Again, we're getting that nice nice stretch on the chest down the bottom, and then on the way up we're just squeezing the chest. The triceps are doing the work as well, man. And then you can see I'm balancing on some bricks. Obviously they're secured properly. Always secure your equipment. Even though my equipment isn't traditional or thing, I always make sure that it's safe. I always test it out before I add weight with my own body weight, and then go from there. And then we got into some archer push-ups. Now, I used to be terrible at these, but these are a great unilateral exercise that helps to, isolate the pectorals, well, to a certain degree, isolate the pectorals. And these also help to develop your one arm push-up, because you're putting a lot of your body weight onto one side of, your arm, so your tricep, and, whatever side you're going down to your chest, and obviously the front shoulder as well is doing the work. And then when you switch over, obviously the other side will take over. So archer push-ups, add them into your regime. Again, a great unilateral exercise. Try to keep that core sturdy, don't let your hips slouch. And again, I'd probably say it's a more intermediate movement, maybe not extremely advanced, but it's definitely an intermediate movement. It definitely makes sense to master the push-up prior, and then maybe do some negative archers, and then obviously you'll be able to do a full archer push-up. And as the session goes on, my form does start to slack a little bit, and this is why I like to watch the videos back, so I can just be conscious of what my form looks like in the latter sets compared to when I'm fresh or when I'm just starting. The form is clean, it's nice, or sometimes even I might get it a little bit wrong off the start, and have to correct myself, as I've done in previous videos. It's all about corrections, always making sure that you're getting the most out of your workouts, because you can say I work out 3, 4, 5 times a week, but if your workouts or exercises are not performed correctly, you're not reaping the most benefits. So why not look back, do things properly, use video and whatever else resources to your advantage, and make sure you're getting the most out your workouts, man. But we done 3 sets of these. I believe it was about 10 on each side, somewhere between 9 and 10 if I remember correctly on each side. And just make sure you get that arm separation correctly, because that's going to determine a lot here. Sometimes your hands can be too wide, or sometimes they're too narrow, but everyone's different. If you've got long arms, obviously you can stretch them out more. If you've got short arms, then you won't have to stretch them out as much, but just test it, see what works for you, man, honestly. And then we got into some not shoulder press, fooled myself there, tricep extensions with the same weight, and boy, these were burning, I ain't gonna lie. But tricep extensions just for a bit more tricep work. Obviously we're isolating the tricep here, and these are not really the bulk of my workout. These isolated movements, they're just like add-ons really that I will do towards the latter part of the session. These don't make up the bulk of my session, because I prefer to do functional movements that involve my whole body, rather than just isolate a certain body part or certain muscle. And I found that when you do movements that use up the whole body, you kind of don't have to, I wouldn't say you don't have to focus on cardio more, but it's easier to stay leaner when you're doing exercises that involve your whole body or multiple muscle parts, because obviously the body has to burn more calories, it has to work harder, things of that nature. So if your goal is to get leaner, I'd say do things like push-ups, squats, dips, pull-ups, all the things that require different muscle groups to work simultaneously, rather than doing things like bicep curls, tricep extensions, leg extensions. Those are more like fine-tuning exercises, if you get what I mean, rather than something that's going to help you get into shape fast or quick, even though there is no fast way to get into shape, but faster than doing isolated exercises. But that's my advice. Take it if you don't want it. Take it if you want it. If you don't, then leave it where it's at, in one ear out the other, up to you. But we did about 3 sets of these, man. You can see killer, like absolute killer. Then I took one of the weight plates off because the form was going a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure that I was able to rep out a decent amount. You always lower the weight. Don't be scared to lower the weight. Don't feel embarrassed if the weight is not providing you with the same stimulus as the first set. Drop it down and then continue to work so you get the maximum benefit out of it. But don't just drop the weight because you feel like you're getting tired or you can't be able to do that weight no more. No, make sure you got that mind muscle connection and saying, am I able to contract this muscle efficiently while using this same weight? You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be realistic at the same time. Working out is like a science. You're your own science project at the end of the day. So you find what works, you find what doesn't. Everybody is different. You can try other people's things and they might work for you too, but at the end of the day, everyone is different. And then we've got into some resistance band lateral raises. Really enjoy doing these. Once I get my full weight set, I will be doing these with dumbbells compared to resistance bands. Resistance bands are cool and everything, but I find sometimes that certain movements, like at the lower portion of the resistance band, you lose that the tension on the band, so your muscles not having to work through the full range of movement. Whereas a dumbbell, the weight doesn't change, or a barbell, the weight doesn't change at any portion. So I just would prefer to to work all the way through. Obviously, resistance bands are more flexible and user friendly. You can take them anywhere. So I'm not knocking the use of resistance bands, but I would just prefer to use free weights at the end of the day. But this is what I got right now. That's what I'm working with right now. So we're just using the resistance band, man, making sure we get that nice contraction at the top and then try to control it on the way down, making sure that the muscle throughout the whole movement is under control and we are controlling the movement, it's not controlling us. And then speaking of free weights, I thought to myself, I'm going to use the kettlebell at the end to see if it makes any difference. Now the kettlebell of course was better because of the free weight. However, the kettlebell isn't like, I don't know, the grip for it isn't conducive to this movement. I didn't like it that much. I may continue to do it still, but obviously if I had a dumbbell, I'm using a dumbbell, but I don't have a dumbbell at the moment. So we're going to use a kettlebell, man. We're not here for excuses. We make it work regardless. But the kettlebell weighs about 9 or 10 kilos by itself. So it was good. It was great. Make sure that you're working all the body parts. Make sure that you're liking the video. Make sure you're subscribing and leave your comments at the end. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let's make 2024 a banger, man. I'm out. Peace.